just get comfortable in whatever seat that you're in. It's probably better to start with eyes closed and just take a few deep breaths just to settle into this space. And after you feel a bit more settled, the body should feel a bit more relaxed, or if it doesn't feel relaxed, just notice that there's tension. Now we're just dilating our attention to notice this present sense of spacious aliveness. This palpable sense of being here. Can feel like a tingling in the hands, maybe a more just ephemeral spaciousness that has a warmth to it. There are different ways that people find it most natural to notice. So, whatever works for you. But really, all we're doing is noticing ourself. We're just noticing what it feels like to be here, what it feels like to exist. This sense of being doesn't require thought to be noticed. You don't have to think about existing. You don't have to remember the sense of being. I don't need to go upstairs and ask one of my roommates to come down here on the Zoom call and verify if we're alive or not. It's obvious. The sense of being is the simplest matter of fact quality of what we call life. Now, we don't have to connect to this sense of being. It may feel like we're noticing it, and that's true. We're noticing the sense of being. But even if we're not attentively noticing the sense of being, it's already here. We don't need to do anything to notice that we're alive, that there's aliveness here. Just notice. No. Typically, in our day to day, when we're suffering, we suffer because we believe that we're a separate self and that life is happening to and for. Most often, that expresses as resistance, and we identify with that resistance. This should be different. This sensation should go away. There should be more of this sensation. This sensation should change. The noise of life should be quieter. The noise of the mind should be quieter. This field of aliveness that all appearances are made of and appearing within should be different, should be better, should change, so that I, this fragment of experience, can feel better, can feel safe, can feel at peace. Can feel happy, can feel confident, whatever it says. Suffering, psychological suffering, when it comes down to it, is that this sense of being that we are believes that it is limited to this story of resistance, this separate self that life is happening to. We believe that we are something experiencing something else. We're over here and life is out there. We are somewhere in the body or are the body. And life and its ever changing qualities, ever changing stories, ever changing events and textures are happening to us. And we need to control how life appears. Isn't that how we often feel in those moments of suffering? This should be different. This isn't okay. I'm not okay. I should be different. I'm not good enough to handle life. Life isn't good enough to meet my needs and expectations. Whatever the story is, it's always this position of dis-ease. As they say in recovery, irritability, and discontent, and restlessness. Always trying to change and manage the life that's happening to us as a separate self. And so, one of the ways to recognize the inherent freedom that we are is to look closer at our experience. And it seems like that can take two different but related perspectives. One is it really true that I am a separate self? Is looking at our ideas about the subject of experience. Is it really true that it feels like I'm somewhere in the head? Is it really true that I am an object? Is it really true that I'm the body? Is it really true that I'm the mind? Non duality is all about non separation. There not being duality, not two. That's what non duality means. There's only one thing going on. So, since there's only one thing going on, is it really true that what you are is a separate self, that the one thing going on is happening too? Another way is to feel into and explore, investigate what experience is, what life is. Explore, is it really true that this sensation, for example, that I'm resisting is what I think it is? For example, there's a sensation in what I could call the chest. Maybe prior to investigation, that sensation I would label anxiety or stress or tension. Is it really true that that's what it is? Can I actually find stress in the sensation that I'm calling stress? Can I really find guilt and shame in the sensation that I'm calling guilt and shame? The experience of guilt, the experience of shame. Asking the question, what is this really? Is it really true that this experience, whatever it is overwhelming? Is it really true that it's too much? Is it really true that it should change? If all of those ideas of why it should be resisted are based on ideas of what the sensation is, but what the sensation is, what we're calling sensation, it can't actually be described as stress, contraction, denseness, whatever it is. Are the reasons for resisting actually based in anything true? If what's here isn't actually what I thought. So, suffering is always caused by knowing what's going on here and being the knower of that. I know that I'm Boh, and because I know that I'm Boh, I know what's happening, and I know it should be different. I know that I'm on a Zoom call. I know that I'm in a meeting. I know that it's Wednesday. I know that I'm in Pennsylvania. I know that it's cold in this room, and I know that it should be different. All these ideas. That knowledge is such a burden to carry around. That's why it feels heavy. That's why it hurts. We can put it down. We can just notice that what it actually feels like to be here, this sense of being, The sense of being is inherently free from all of these ideas about life and who life is happening to. Can't find them anywhere. Just look. Don't take my word for it. Use that precious divine attention and explore. What is this really? Is it true that a self is experiencing this? What is this texture really? Is the sense of someone the same thing as the truth of someone? Don't think about it. Just look. The freedom that we're searching for, the peace that we're looking for, it's right here. We just have to look with ignorant eyes. Look without the ideas of what's here and what's looking, clouding the view. So, with that, just begin to enter back into this space. Flutter the eyes open, move the fingers, wiggle the toes, and meet this with fresh eyes. Thank you.